Hey family, it's Tasha from MAMABEAR Prepping. You already know what time it is. Get your drink, pull up. It's a little bit late in the morning here. I've already had a cup of coffee, had to take the kiddo to camp, drop him off. And so I am back at the house. I'm about to get started on some painting. I'm just super excited to get going. I've got the doggy watch now though. You know, that was, not my watch necessarily. That's kids, but dropped him off. And so now MAMABEAR has the watch. Okay, so we're gonna hang out, we're gonna do a few things, we're gonna preserve some food obviously today. It's nice and cool, the heat went away, and so we're gonna get into it. So while I was gone, boy, there was a turn up of events on social media in regards to the term werewolf preppers, right? And everybody jumps on it. I've seen every single channel I feel like that I watch have discussed this over the last month, but there was a real ramp up in the last few days, this last week, right? And I thought about, do I want to discuss this? Do I care enough to want to jump on the bandwagon of talking about werewolves? At the time when I seen a few of them, I actually forwarded a young man's video, right, of him discussing it. Got a couple comments of people making fun of him because he was talking about using some examples in shows, TV shows, right? And, little chuckle. However, super serious conversations need to be had. Definitely an area of concern. Definitely an area that people who prepare, in my opinion, just as much as you prepare with the food and growing and doing this and all the things, is up here with protecting it and keeping it safe and being ready for the day that, a werewolf prepper wants to come your way and try to take something. But I want to talk about this in a different perspective, right? I want to talk about what it is. Can you even protect your stuff? Is that even possible? Will you become a werewolf prepper yourself? Will you become a wolf, basically? And what's needed to really actually prepare for this and continue on after the day comes that you come across this, right? Whether it's you becoming this type of person or whether it's you dealing with this type of person. Now, this is no secret, right? It's just funny right now because people are being threatened, supposedly making lists. People are coming out and like, we're going to take all your stuff, and they're terming it or having this term of these are werewolf preppers. People threatening, saying they are werewolf preppers and they're planning to take your stuff. The thing is baby, been planning since day one for the day that somebody comes and tries to take from me. Is it a secret? Is it hard to find out where I live? Absolutely not. With today's technology and social media and all this stuff, super easy. But there's things that you should be doing to protect yourself. That's why I can't stand channels. I shouldn't say I can't stand them because I watch them. But it's a concern of mine when I see channels that I love and they're out and about in stores. They're in Costco stores. They're in, they're in these different stores, right? And all it takes is one local person to see them, that knows them, that watches them, and then boom, just makes a mental note, follows them home, doesn't do anything to them, doesn't do extra intel, doesn't do anything extra, just simply follows them home, and now knows, hey, if things go left, at least I know where this person lives, right? They don't mean you any harm. They're not thinking that they're gonna hurt you in any way, but they're just making a mental note that, hey, they know where a prepper lives and where resources could be possibly, because they've come across your page, they've watched you, whatever, and they've come across you. You know how many times I've talked about fortification and security and somebody has mentioned that they have already seen different preppers in their local areas in stores? Now, mind you, they're not in that mentality of where they're thinking about following this person home and getting at them, but that's happened. So imagine what bad people are seeing, right? And so if you don't prepare, that's a bad day, okay? And there's lots of ways you can prepare. There's lots of fortification stuff you can do. But I want to talk about a few things. So first thing was, and these are just kind of notes, you guys. So high level prep area. I already mentioned this needs to be just as important as putting away food, putting away these preps. You need to be thinking about this is important, and fortification, and what is the game plan when something like this happens. The thing is that I won't venture and say most preppers, but a lot of preppers prepare for this. And therefore, some of the things that, let's say this one guy that was talking in the video was talking about, he was like, you don't think people are going to notice your full bellies. You don't think people are going to smell your beans that are cooking. You know, like, you don't think people are following you home now and figuring things out. But my point is, we plan for that. So there's things that are already going to be contingent, that if we are in that type of lifestyle, do you think that we're cooking outside? Do you think that we're cooking in any way that could attract somebody? Do you think we're cooking over an open fire? Okay, maybe smoke. Just the idea that somebody could be over there cooking something is bad. We prepare for those things. Full bellies, ain't nobody walking around with no full bellies. Okay, ration is in full effect because we have no idea how long we have to make our stores last, right? And so ain't nobody been walking around fat and jolly, right? This right here, all going away, okay? And that's going to be hard, right? Very, very hard. I just got to check this dog. Hey, what you doing? Come over here and lay down, monkey. Come on, fuzzy butt. Come on. You're getting a little beside yourself. So, see, and now I already lost my train of thought. Okay, let's get into the next note. Gray man. So preparing, right? If you go outside my house right now, my house looks like a normal house. I go out of my way to fortify it like crazy. But from the average person, it does not look like it's fortified, secured. Yeah, maybe they see some cameras, maybe they see some stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my house looks like a normal American home, right? There's nothing crazy. There's nothing outside of the norm to make it look like, you know, either somebody who prepares lives there, or that I'm preparing, right? I don't have trenches dug in my front yard and booby traps, you know, but I'm prepared for that stuff, and I'm ready to employ different things that I might need to have. And my house is fortified to the hilt, right? But there's a way you do that, right? Somebody follows you home, they follow you home. They know, okay? Now they have your address. Now they can clearly Google Earth and see your whole layout of your thing. Yes, they can, but there's things that you can do to fortify and to hide things now. They try to do Google Earth now. What can they see from the sky in your yard? How can you hide stuff? Somebody mentioned you can't hide a garden. You're right, sir. I think, sir or ma'am, whoever left that comment a while ago, I believe you, because it just takes somebody to peek over, to hop the fence, to take a look. You know, you can't truly hide that stuff, but you can do some stuff to deter some folks, right? There's several things that we can employ, and tactics that we plan to employ and use. And I think that somebody who easily says, oh, I'm just going to take from somebody else, obviously, if that's what they plan to do, that's what they plan to do. But I think that that's easier said than done. I think that it's not so easy to just take from somebody who has prepared, who knows the ins and outs of that house, of that property, where things are at. Yes, can you do further things like hide stuff? You know, when people talk about marauders, well, how are you going to deal with marauders, like a whole group of people? You know, at some point, if you have to bug out and return, you have a bug out and return plan, which is basically you leave the property to hide for safety, and they take what you allow them to take. Basically, what did you leave out that you already were not planning on, but I guess planning on that it was okay to take, whether it's the government coming to take it, whether it's the enemy coming to take it, it's marauders, whatever. Anything that's out is already in the plan that, hey, this will be a loss, and that's it. Hey, is that yours to chew on? Sir, is that yours to chew on? I don't think so. Looking at me all stinking cute while he's chewing on Papa Bear's slipper. This doggy. You know, what can you do to ensure that it's harder for somebody to take advantage? And I think that it's easier for somebody to say, oh yeah, I'm going to come and take it. But you throw fortification, security, defensive tools, it's not the easiest, right? And then you treat them, any kind of bigger groups that move through, you know, you treat them like you would the government, right? As far as, yeah, okay, you got me coming, oh no, you got my stuff, right? And then I come back and you didn't even get a fraction of it, okay? To me, if you plan for this, it's not as scary, right? It's going to be scary regardless, okay? Now, the other side of this is what... Okay, that's not for you. So you're not going to listen to me? And he just looks at me all stinking cute. I want to talk about the other side of this. The side of somebody made a comment on this young man's the guy that was making fun of the guy talking about the movies, right? This video that I forwarded out that was talking about werewolf preppers. And this guy made the comment about him talking about a TV show and how it doesn't matter because at the end, everybody's going to be a werewolf. Everybody is going to be out for themselves, trying to prepare or trying to get things, scavenging. Anybody who's made it through whatever the ordeal that just happened, those people are going to be out and about trying to get stuff from other people. And whether they're trying to scavenge from people that are just not there, right? So just in general, they're trying to get supplies, or if they're run across people. People don't realize what they will do to survive, right? And nobody and their mother thinks, oh, I'm going to be a werewolf prepper. But the day might come where you're out of stuff. And so again, there's a way you prepare for this. You stack the things, you do the stuff. But by preparing your family truly for all the skill sets that you need to be able to move on and basically survive anywhere with nothing, that skills are king, right? If you understand and know how you could literally go to the woods with your family and survive with nothing, that is true freedom, true survival, true anything. And then you don't have to be worried about bad people coming to take your stuff. Do you want to keep that stuff? Yes. And you're going to prep as so, right? As you want to keep this stuff. But if at the end of the day, the stuff runs out, you get overran, whatever, right? You have to know that you can still go on and continue on, okay? And that you're not going to have the spirit of a werewolf prepper on your back, just that's end game, right? You're done, right? And if you have God on your side and you're praying and you're asking for guidance, you'll get through this and you'll prepare in the way that you need to prepare. But don't sleep on the fact that how far will you go? How far will you go? And what's crazy is I'm asking you that question, but I don't think you can answer that question. I don't think I can answer that question. I think I can be real batty and just tell you, oh, I can go far. You're not coming for mine and da-da-da-da-da. Or I'm going to, if I need to get it, I'm going to go out and get it. I think that's easier said than done, okay? Or I think that naturally that will happen. There is no talk at that point because you're starving. Your family's starving possibly. You are this is the survival of the fittest at this point. Dog eat dog at this point. So how far will you go? How far are you willing to go? What's the game plan for protection and for later? And if you're trying to secure stuff. So it's a big topic. Either way you go. What I will say is that werewolf preppers, whatever you want to call it, the wolves, the people that plan to just, I'm going to go and get people's stuff. I think that's easier said than done. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm definitely not saying that we are free from people finding out information and finding out where we're at. I absolutely think that's the easiest thing in the world. But it's what have you done to prepare for the day that they actually act on that? They actually come to your house trying to get stuff. What have you done to secure and fortify and extra fortification? The stuff that you don't have out yet, right? This is big talk, but stuff like a pallet of barbed wire, things like that. I know that's outside the box and people are like, I live in an apartment, you're blowing my mind, or I don't have that, I live in a whatever. It depends on how far you're willing to go to take it serious, that the day is going to come when somebody tries to come and take it from you, and how far are you going to go to protect it. Let me just look at my notes really quick and see. The only other thing I said is, it's easy to be big and bad and say, hey, I'm going to take that stuff, and, preppers are dumb. And if they think for 1 second people aren't going to know who they are and be able to take away their things from them, they got something coming from them. But guess what? The one thing I do know about people is there's always somebody bigger and badder than you. Always somebody. So this little person that's running around like, I'm going to take, that type of person is going to get squashed. You know why? Because they need to be concerned about the people that are not saying anything, that are not saying a thing, that are big and bad, and they're just full of action, and they're going to come in and they're going to squash that little bug. If you think that person's going to be able to just steal from people and then what are you going to do with all the stuff you stole? Right? If that person then is not ready to protect it and put it somewhere where you can actually protect it, they're going to get squashed themselves, and somebody bigger and badder is going to come along. Okay, so there is no win in this situation, to be honest, right? And at the end of the day, they better have skills to be able to continue on. Can they garden? Can they skin an animal, right? Oh, they just stole a bunch of bunnies from you, but they never skinned a bunny, things like that. Do they even have the skills to survive themselves? It's one thing to steal some cans of tuna, okay, but if you don't got the skill set, who cares, right? Come and get these cans of tuna. I don't even like tuna that much, right? So guess what's out for somebody to take if I'm overran? Cans of tuna, okay? All I'm saying is be smart. Don't be scared, okay? God has your back. God has a plan. If you're one of these people running around and running your mouth talking about you're going to get somebody and people are on lists, and that's just silly, because that's not real life. That's not real life. And if you think that the majority of preppers are just sitting around stacking stuff, is there people that are just stacking stuff and have no clue what I'm even talking about? Absolutely. And I guess you will get those people, but you won't just come up and just get preppers who have been doing this for a while that actually put this and prepare just as much as they stack the food. They prepare for fortification, and they prepare for you, sir or ma'am, that think you're going to come. And then I would venture you should be thinking about the other side the day that you possibly have to make moves on other people. And can you do it? And how far will you go? And what does that look like? Okay? Because it's a scary thought, and you should be praying about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm kind of late in the game with the werewolf. I was out, so I'm kind of late in the game with the whole bandwagon with the werewolf preppers. But we talked about it. We're done. And no more discussion needs to be had, because it's really not a topic that they really needed to have all this spotlight on them. I think that there's evil people. There was already evil people before. There'll always continue to be evil people. And it's how you battle that, right? With the cloak of Jesus Christ. That's how you do it. That's how you battle them, okay? So I'm on to some more coffee. I have stuff to do. I have some food to preserve. And I will see you guys tomorrow in the next video. Take care. Bye.